Unfortunately, just because you're leaving the country doesn't mean that you're waving your debt goodbye. Creditors can still track you down, and it could make things difficult for you if you decide to come home. You probably already know this, but your credit file is always rumbling on in the background, and it keeps track of things like defaults, CCJs, their county court judgments, bank accounts, and any credit that you might take out. When you miss payments and ignore communication from the creditor, they might get a debt collector involved, or, in the case of priority debts, a bailiff, which is also known as an enforcement agent. If you move abroad, it would be difficult for lenders to take legal action, but it wouldn't be impossible for them to keep chasing you for the debt. What they tend to do is go after anything of value that you leave at home. But if they want to start legal proceedings against you, they would have to file the case in the country that you're living in, which would cost them a lot of money. However, be aware that if you go to certain countries like Canada or Australia, then the debt collector in the UK could sell your debt to collectors in the new country, and then you're back to square one. The other problem is that if you're planning on coming home, there may be additional fees that will keep getting added on, which means you come back to even more debt. It would also show on your credit file, which would make it difficult if you needed to get any form of credit. HMRC debt never goes away, and you can be traced in another country. There's an international network called MoneyNerd, which stands for Mutual Assistance in the Recovery of Debt. If you've moved to Europe, they can find you. It's an international network of tax authorities. HMRC debt is seen as priority debt, and one way or another, they'll try and retrieve their money. Even if you're outside of Europe and they can't track you down, they'll turn to your assets to get what they're owed. If you've got debt and you do want to live abroad, then the best thing to do is to try and pay it off. Priority debts always come first, so things like council tax, just because they've got bigger consequences if you don't pay. If you feel like you're looking up at a mountain of debt and you're a little bit overwhelmed, it may be worth looking at debt solutions that are available in the UK. Some stop creditors chasing you, while others write off some of your debt and lower your payments. There are pros and cons to each, so if you're struggling with debt, it's a good idea to get an idea of every single potential solution. In the description of this video, I've linked to a form on my new website, and it's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe. At the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to provide you with all the information that you need about debt solutions that are available. So click the link below, check it out, and let me know how you get on.